Bart Heitch here, Supreme Courts, day 4 of our play dates. Volleyball is in the house, and we are joined by special guest JB Pennington Lady Tigers coach C-Ty Hutchins, Donnell Barrett, EJ Cornelius, Kaylin Johnson, and Maggie Adams. They are all seniors. Coach, how was it out there? What about these play dates? How do you like this setting, being able to bring your team in and compete against high-level competition?
We've really enjoyed it. This is our first year to do Supreme Courts. I kind of took over last minute last year and didn't really get to plan as much as I wanted to for summer experience. So it's been good for them. We are playing some higher level. My junior high came on Tuesday, brought varsity back today, and we're really just excited to get that exposure during the summer of them having game-like situations.
So you mentioned this, you're 2, correct?
Yes.
You said so. Is it where you expected it to be? Are you progressed where you are? I mean, obviously you want it to always be further along, but are you happy with the progression through the ups and downs last year?
I am very happy with the progression. I feel like we do have 4 seniors, but we are somewhat of a young team. The junior high is kind of, there's a lot more invested into that coming into the high school. We didn't have too many tryouts for varsity volleyball this year. We're trying to build that program and get it where it's something that they want to be part of again. And so I feel like, given the situations and circumstances, we are where we need to be. They're working hard to achieve those goals.
Well, and a lot of times that's what happens. You know, when you have a culture change in a program and you have seniors that step up, those young kids are the ones, I mean, people are watching you, ladies. They're watching your every move. They're watching how you play, how you interact. So speaking of that, and speaking of you ladies, first off, Donnell, I want you to tell me a little bit about your teammate EJ sitting next to you and why you like playing with her and why she's such a good teammate.
Well, she never dwells on the past when she's speaking with other people. She never is like, you didn't do this right, or you didn't do this right. She's always, you can do this next time. You did good this time, so you can do it good again. You know, she's always very high speaking to other people.
So important in volleyball as I'm understanding, because similar to basketball, you have to forget the last play. It's so fast you can't dwell on what just happened. That's excellent stuff, Donnell. EJ, what about Kaylin next to you?
I just like her hard work and hustle. She's one of our setters this year, so she's always going for the ball and trying to get there as fast.
Well, I'm starting to understand just how important that relationship is between setter, hitter, the communication, all that kind of stuff. It's just a lot of people, the average person does not realize just how much goes into one simple volleyball play. I know I sure didn't before I started paying a lot of attention. All right, so Kaylin, what about Maggie? What do you like about playing with her?
Well, I've been playing with Maggie since 8th grade, and I just love how she gets down on herself a little bit, but when she sees others getting down on herself, she always picks them up and just encourages everybody.
That's a great attribute to have. So Maggie, circle back down around the end and tell us about Donnell.
There's a lot about Donnell. My favorite thing is that she is always up. Like, #1 cheerleader. She's not able to play right now because of an ACL injury, but she's still up. Always on the bench. She's always cheering, and she's always up. So she always gets us hot when we need to be.
Everybody's got to have a leader, emotionally, physically, the whole thing. Good luck with your injury. Hope it gets well quickly. All right, so Coach, give me some weaknesses. What does this team need to work on to get better between now and the start of the season that you're harping them on collectively as a group that you think will make your team more successful?
I have 2 things that I really have kind of tried to drill with them. First is just that mental aspect of it, of just having the game. Like, they're capable. They have the abilities. It's just a mental toughness for them of getting them where they understand they can do it. Yeah. I mean, they can do it. Pennington has not had a successful volleyball season in a few years, from my understanding, from taking over and doing stuff. So I see how much potential they have. So just trying to get them to see that potential as well. And then as far as on the court, I would say communication. Like, they're learning to play with each other. We had 4 seniors last year as well. So we kind of lost 2 back-to-back years. Will be kind of a bigger group as far as volleyball terms go. Mm-hmm. So just that mental toughness, and then the communication on the court, just talking it up. And these 4, I think, are going to be the leaders that's going to start that trend.
So speaking of those weaknesses, I want to go to some individual weaknesses. We'll start with you, Maggie. What is something that you could work on in your game that you feel like would, Coach maybe assist something to you, but you feel like you've got to get better at to help this team?
Going back to what she said about, like, the mental aspect of it, Like if I mess up, I tend to get down on myself really easily, and I just think about that the next couple of plays, and that's something I can't do because it's just gonna, completely shut me down and make me think, well, I can't do this. But just to stay up with myself.
Body language is such a huge deal, especially in fast-paced sports like we're talking about, because you just don't have time to harp on what just happened. Kaylin, what about you? What do you got to get better at?
Like the same thing. I always get down on myself, and like I can mess up, and then 30 minutes later I'm still thinking about the same thing, and it brings the whole team down. So.
It's human nature, and there's a selflessness that comes with forgetting the last play, and it's very hard to do. But Coach, kudos for you for staying on and making sure, because that's a big deal. I mean, you can't play tired and you can't play upset. That's two things you can't do. So EJ, what about you? What do you have to focus on and tighten up in your game?
I would say probably communication. I want to work on the floor, calling it better, and just being able to, if I think I can get there, call it. And so there's not a clear.
Well, I would probably
Janelle?
say like them. Whenever I mess up, I don't do it for too long, but I do like to think why couldn't I get there? It's not somebody else's job; it's mine. Why couldn't I do it?
Right.
But like you said, I cannot do that. I just need to work on it.
The more communication, the more game reps that you get in when you're practicing, all those things add up and add up. All right, Coach, so bring us home here and tell us, what is the ceiling for this team and what is the expectation?
I really don't want to put a ceiling on them because I think they're capable of so much. So I don't want to limit them. I want them to achieve as much as they can possibly achieve. My biggest expectation is just giving all you got. I mean, I told them, I preach commitment and dedication. Those are two things that are going to help you be successful on and off the court. So I don't really want to cap them and put a ceiling on them. I just want them to give 100% of what they got, and I think they'll really be surprised at just how far they can go.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed you ladies, coming in here. And Coach, the way you're coaching them, you can tell it's going in the right direction. And thank y'all for coming to Supreme Courts. Again, follow us at S-Courts Gville, the JB Pennington Lady Tigers Volleyball. Thanks for joining us.